Question. Hey Kim, my question is, how do I tell the difference between the karmic answer I have to accept with humility and the circumstances I can circumnavigate when the top 3 levels of my mind, as Padmasambhava advises? I've been using this method to make a difference for a long time, but I used to do it intuitively. I do it consciously and have great results. Do I manipulate matter at this moment, and do I create additional karma? So what I would say here to something like this is that what the Master is always saying is that we have the 3 higher levels of the mind, the identity, mental and emotional. And that our physical circumstances are a result of the unresolved psychology we have at the 3 higher levels, these subconscious selves. And they are sort of being projected onto the physical matter. And that the Master is always saying that by resolving the psychology at the 3 higher levels, we can avoid a physical karmic return. So based on this, you could say that a karmic answer I have to accept with humility. There's never really a karmic answer you have to accept in a sense that what you can say is that sometimes you will be in a physical situation that you can't change. I'm not one of these people who say that, oh, if you're in a higher state of consciousness, nothing should ever happen that you don't like. Because sometimes things just happen in the physical octave because we are, the earth is the way it is. We always have the option to look at the emotional, mental, and identity level and say, what precipitated this? What precipitated it? And then try to resolve those selves and overcome it. So when the Master is talking about you can circumnavigate in the top 3 levels of your mind, that's how I see that. You're preventing the karma from descending to the physical level by resolving the psychology at the 3 higher levels that are, so as I've explained before, you create a karmic impulse in a past life. In this lifetime, the karmic impulse starts coming back to you. But it first hits your identity mind. And if you haven't resolved the psychology that caused you to create the impulse in the first place, the karmic impulse will actually be reinforced by the unresolved psychology. Now it will descend to the mental level. It'll be reinforced there if you haven't resolved that, the beliefs at the mental level. And then it will go into the emotional if you haven't resolved the emotions and the energy. It'll be reinforced and it becomes physical and something is going to happen physically. But if you have resolved the psychology at the identity level, there's nothing reinforcing it. If you resolve the beliefs at the mental level, nothing takes it further. And if you have resolved the emotions and emotional energy and emotional patterns, then it won't be physical. You will not have a physical karmic circumstance. Now you can say, sometimes you can say, okay, now as physical situations happen, and I have to accept that with humility because it shows that I haven't resolved something in my 3 higher mind. So you accept the outer situation, you deal with it, but then you also deal with the psychology and say, what is it I haven't resolved? Because the karma only became physical to give me a physical return that is difficult to ignore. So now I'm not going to ignore this, I'm going to look at the psychology behind it and resolve it. Now, I would say here that you can always look at, if you are trying to use your mind to manifest a better circumstance in life, you can always say, if I'm not straining, if I'm not forcing, then I'm not making additional karma. If I'm using my mind in such a way, and you see this with people who, for example, are into law of attraction or manifestation, sometimes they will really exert a lot of mental effort to manifest something. And I'm not saying this can't work, but what I'm saying is, if you have to exert effort then you're making karma, because that shows you there's some unresolved psychology. If you resolve the psychology that prevents you from having, what you want to have, it becomes effortless. So, for example, money. Many people I've seen, many spiritual people, have not resolved their view of money, their relationship to money. And so as a result, it requires effort to manifest it. And that's making karma. You can still manifest money that way. I'm not saying law of attraction doesn't work, but many people create karma by doing it. And so what you have to do is say, what is my view of money? What is my attitude? What subconscious selves do I have from past lives relating to money? And many spiritual people have this, like I've seen in myself, have a schizophrenic, two-sided, divided view of money, because you feel like you shouldn't have money as a spiritual person. So in a sense, you're subconsciously pushing it away. But at the same time, you want it so you can have time to pursue your spiritual activities. So you want it and you don't want it. You're a house divided against yourself. So you need to look at that, resolve that, and then it becomes effortless. You also, I think, have to accept things. If it's money or something else, you have to come to a point where you accept it. You accept that you're willing to receive it, you're worthy to receive it, and again, there can be psychology there. Makes you think you're not worthy or you shouldn't have it. So it's always a matter of looking at the psychology, and when you have resolved enough psychology, it becomes effortless, and then you're not making karma.